Tim Sherwood saying De Ligt isn't better than Maguire. Well, I do want to talk about this very, very quickly because we've got some other transfer news to come in around McTominay and the left back. I mean, look, on Harry Maguire, this is completely separate, but Harry Maguire apparently is not eager to leave Manchester United and feels he's still got an important role to play at the club. Does he? Does he really? I think Harry Maguire's whole career at Man United from today is dependent on our medical staff. I think if we have injuries in the back four, he will play games of football. I think if we have Yoro and De Ligt fit, he won't play football at all. So I think Maguire is going to have to accept that he's fourth choice. If Ten Hag picks Maguire over De Ligt, why have we bought De Ligt? If Ten Hag picks Maguire over Yoro, why have we bought Yoro? Now is the time for none of this, bullshit about working hard in training and fighting for your place. Now is the time for, you've bought these players, make them fucking work. All right, we'll give you Anthony. It didn't quite work out yet. But with De Ligt and Yoro, none of this, I'm sure we'll hear it in press conferences because people will ask it. They love to ask a question about Maguire. And I'm sure Ten Hag will say, look, he's a very important player and, he'll be fighting for his place, etc. But, come on, let's get real. If everybody's fit now, Maguire doesn't play and he'll lose his England spot. So that's up to him, isn't it? But Tim Sherwood, who is on Sky Sports. Now, I don't watch Sky Sports News. If you do, that's up to you. Some people like to watch bad things. Some people enjoy Mrs. Brown's Boys. I'm working on a higher level. I don't watch Sky Sports News. I think it's terrible, comparable to what it used to be. Tight jeans, white trainers, and bad opinions. But I did get the clip from Tim Sherwood. And Tim Sherwood's crap. I don't know why Sky put him on. Maybe it's, they've got to put quotas of ex-players on and that's all they can afford. I don't know. But he comes out with complete shit most of the time. This is absolutely incredible. So basically said, I don't know why Man United have bought De Ligt. Is he really any better than Maguire? As I've said to you before, the problem with this is that we're a community and you'll take the piss out of me and I might take the piss out of you. But we're not pretending to be a mainstream broadcaster with Premier League rights. I'd like to, but we don't. So when you've got Premier League rights, you should have an air of credibility and an air of authority. And at the very, very basic level, you should get people to... If I own Sky Sports News and I'm paying millions for broadcasting rights, the last thing I want to do is put a prat on my main sports channel. I mean, De Ligt's not an improvement on Harry Maguire. What are we just talking about now? Are we just talking about passports, or are we having a proper football chat, Tim? Every team in the Premier League that's successful plays with two centre-backs that will take the ball off their goalkeeper and defend one-on-one with a striker and play on a high line. Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire can't do that. De Ligt can. There ended the lesson. What are you comparing Maguire to De Ligt for? They're completely different centre-backs with completely different capabilities. If you want someone to play centre-back for Stoke in 2010, get Harry Maguire, be bloody brilliant. Superb in the air, defend your box, happy days. If you want to play like Man City or Liverpool, you go and get someone like De Ligt. It's as simple as that. And it's terrifying just how bad some of these pundits are at analysing the game they used to play. But you know what? Paul Gascoigne's one of the most talented players I've ever seen. I don't think he can tell you what a high line is. In fact, I think what he thinks is a high line is probably something you snort. So I don't think just because you played football, it means you know what you're talking about. And it's just another bad example of crappy British media who do not watch football and don't understand it. And, that's not even not watching De Ligt. That's not watching Man United and understanding what's been the problem with our defensive line. I mean, I don't think many of them do watch European football. I just think they see somebody who's small and go, he's too small. Or they hear a name and go, I don't like that name. But that's not even about De Ligt. That's about Man United. That's not understanding what Man United's problem is. I mean, anybody can tell you what Man United's problem was last season. The line was too deep. The attack was too high. And the midfield was wide open. and we were defending the edge of our box, so we were conceding a lot of shots. How do you counter-attack that? You've got to get your line higher. You need centre-backs who can do that. Easy. Another quick one, says Jack. If we play higher, do you think our counter-attacking style will go? Also, who your key player to watch this season, development-wise or impact to general play? I think Lisandro Martinez is massively important for Man United because he's the only left-sided centre-back we've got, and he's the only one who we can know who can play out progressively from the back and get the line up. We've not seen De Ligt yet. Who do I think can develop? I think Collier is the obvious one, maybe Amas. Julian says, Ollie created a generation of British players with no ambition or mentality. Always blame shifting and nothing to prove because they started every week, says Julian. And Harry Maguire is more delusional than Arsenal fans, says Attil. Mark, I'm getting married in 8 weeks and in the evening for my karaoke, I'm playing Caladu rap, singing your song. The Voice, here we go. Once it's played, says Son. Well, enjoy yourself. Can we put Ricky in the transfer window, says Parker. You haven't even seen Ricky for about 3 months. That's a bit harsh. That is. That is a bit harsh. Anyway, next bit of news. Di Marzio reporting that Napoli approached Manchester United and put an offer in for Scott McTominay to take him on loan. Man United have rejected that bid. Is it also quite telling that Man United's Twitter account had Scott McTominay as the picture in the third kit today at some point? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Scott McTominay. I mean, on the one hand, we're making really progressive moves in the transfer market. On the other hand, we still seem to be attracted to the past, which will drag us down. You can't accept a loan deal for Scott McTominay. Absolutely not. You can't accept a loan deal for Scott McTominay because he's only got 1 year left on his bloody deal for a start. So, look, it is a bid rejected if it's true. There has been reported interest from Napoli. Di Marzio saying that there's been a loan bid rejected. We can't loan Scott McTominay. We need the money. We can't be loaning players with 1 year left on their contract either. I've always said I'll believe it when I see it when McTominay leaves. I desperately think he should leave. I think McTominay hinders so many people by staying. I think it'll hinder Mason Mount. I think, how is Mason Mount going to get on the pitch off the bench when Scott McTominay is always going to be the last 20-minute option that Ten Hag loves to throw on? That will hinder Mason Mount. It might hinder people like Ahmad as well, because Scott McTominay's an attacking option. It might hinder Xerxes. I think we've got more than enough attacking options now. You know, Scott McTominay for a bit of height. Xerxes 6'3". You know, I think McTominay can't play holding midfield, so forget that. He can't play as a number 8 because he doesn't pick up the runners. McTominay has to be used what he was good at last season, which was getting in and around the box and scoring goals. But we've got players who can do that now. He hinders Rasmus, says Shane Smith. You've got Xerxes, who is an attacking sort of false 9, etc. You've got Mount, who plays that role. I think it's time to say goodbye to Scott McTominay, but we can't do it on loan. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say we should have accepted a loan deal. We can't do that. But we do need to try and move him on because there's profit. Goldbridge, that's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video because we all know only legends like videos and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching as always.